Okay, I want to find out what's going on here. So let me see here if I made a mistake. Let's go back to this right here. And I think I did. Remember I said this has to match the name that's on the database or the collection, cuisines. Yes, this should have an S in it. So let's put an S there. Let's run it again and hope that it works. Let's do A, and we'll do Chinese. Okay, there goes Chinese, Chinese. Good, that looks good. And let's do American just to make sure. And looks like it's working. So this is fantastic. It's looking good. All right, so please study this drop-down list box. Study how this is working, these two guys together. Now let's see what happens if I keep this empty. I'm going to click on search. Okay, I don't like that. If I leave this empty, it's not going to work. So we should fix that just in case it is empty. Okay, or maybe if the user puts in all, you know, we'll make sure that they get all the cuisines. Okay, so we'll make those two things work together. Okay, so let's go back to the DAO. Let's make this DAO understand the types of cuisine that we can get. Okay, so we're going to say here, if cuisine, I'm going to trim it just to make sure there's no spaces inside of the text box. And I'm say period here, ignore equal and ignore case is equal to all. Okay, that's first thing. We'll test to see if it's equal to all. Or if cuisine trim is equals to a blank, meaning that it's just completely empty. So this will, and then you know what, I'll even do one more thing right here. Let's do one more or. We're going to say let's say it's equal to everything. Okay, why is this complaining? So something I went wrong here. I think I've got an extra parentheses right there. Yep. So this is saying right here, let me ignore the case here also. So if any of these things are true, okay, in fact, just to make this code a little easier to read, I'm going to say here, Boolean, B, cuisine status. Oh, no, you know what? Is valid cuisine. The reason I'm doing this is that way if it's one of these guys we can test for it. Okay, so let's do here, I'm going to say here is valid cuisine. Okay, these are really not valid cuisines, so I'm going to say if it's not any one of these guys, that means I want to test it to make sure, I want to make sure that if it's any one of these guys, that means I want to show everything. If it's not, then I want to actually put in the cuisine myself. It's actually a cuisine like Chinese food, American food, West Indian food will be there. Okay. So that's why I'm putting a not there. Now, again, if this becomes true, that means I either typed in all, nothing, or the word everything. And that means I don't want to add this. That means this will get skipped, and by default, if the collection is empty, I will get data. Not the collection, I'm sorry, the document is empty. Well, let's save it. Let's go back to, in fact, let's go back here to this right here. We're going to set a breakpoint. I'm going to run this. This is telling me I already have it up. Let me close it. I'm going to debug this in debug mode. Let's click on A, and I'll say, let's say everything. Let's click on search. I'll say yes to switch to debug mode. Okay, let's see what cuisine has in it. I have the word everything. This should evaluate to true. Let's see. Let me step over one more time. Because remember, this is an all. Okay, good. That means it found one of these guys. Now, this is testing to see if it's false. If this had been false, we'd actually put in the correct cuisine. But this should get skipped now. Therefore, the document, if I look at the document, has nothing about cuisine. Since nothing is specified by the for cuisine, it will show everything. So let's just continue it. And one day the screen will come up. Oh, there it goes right there. Everything brought back everything. So now let's change this to ice cream. Run it again. Search. I'm going to step over, step over, step over, step over. This should now be false because it's not nothing here as I'm testing for ice cream. If I look inside of cuisine, it says ice cream. And now if I step over, it will do this criteria, add ice cream to it, step over. Let's look at the doc now. This is saying where last grade is A and cuisines is ice cream. Let's run it all the way through. Let me not run it. Let's resume. Let's look at here. And there goes the ice cream. So now we've got this working with two criterias. With that, good luck and good coding.